I think we now move to Maria from Advancement Project, who is going to give us an update on coronavirus and impacts on our work and as this group of people. Over to you, Maria.
Awesome. Thank y'all so much, y'all. Again, Maria, she, her, hers pronouns. I work for the Advancement Project and I'm based out of DC. I'm going to do this really quickly because we're running a little bit behind and the juiciness of today's conversation is going to be around capitalism. So I want to get to that. But again, similar to when we were last together, we are not doctors. We are not in the medical profession. We're just trying to gather information as they come and try to put forth some reliable information for you all. So I'm going to run through it because I wrote a lot, but maybe I'll cut some out. So since we were last together, we have seen a drastic rise in the number of people testing positive for COVID-19 and the number of deaths. As of 2 p.m. today, there are 234,768 cases and 5,586 deaths here in the United States. So we have rapidly gone up through the charts, leading globally in the number of cases that tested positive. We heard, as you all probably heard, Congress passed the $2 trillion stimulus package known as the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economy Security. CARES Act, okay. We know that the stimulus package does not do enough to support frontline communities, our communities, and that in fact it is bailing out corporations and not people. New York City continues to be an epicenter with other cities like New Orleans moving in that direction. This hurts me personally, my family's in New York. This means that our hospitals are overwhelmed. Healthcare providers, doctors, nurses, hospital and clinic staff are fighting for personal protective equipment. They don't have enough. Hospitals across the country are threatening to terminate employees who speak out about the working conditions and lack of PPE, but they're doing it anyway. So big ups to all the healthcare providers that we know, that we love, that are out there doing that work. Jails, prisons, and immigration detention centers are hotspots for the rapid spread of COVID-19. As local jails and prisons report the isolation of several folks who are incarcerated, who have tested positive, like Rikers Island and right here in DC. Organizers are demanding cities, states, and federal government get our people, young people, undocumented people out of cages to ensure that they have all that they need to be healthy and free. So we continue to demand free them all. States continue to close schools either indefinitely or for the remainder of the school year, raising lots of questions about students' grades, promotion, and access to education. There is not enough technology or free and accessible internet services to support all the young people that need it. States and cities also continue to drop their shelter in place and or stay at home orders. Most recently Texas, which dropped theirs today. Many cities are deputizing police to enforce social distancing. And we are seeing billions of dollars going into policing, surveillance technology, and criminalization. But we know that in the midst of all of this, our organizing has not stopped. We just saw this week worker strikes. So Whole Food workers are striking this week for preventive equipment, safety precautions, and hazard pay. Similarly, Amazon had a series of worker strikes in Staten Island. Amazon said they also fired some of the lead organizers. They're saying it was because he violated social distancing guidelines, coming in contact with an infected employee, but we know what the deal is. And folks are organizing rent strikes. Communities are organizing rent and mortgage strikes, demanding economic relief and housing for all. And we've seen most recently organizations drop sets of demands. So the Movement for Black Lives have released their set of demands that center the experiences and needs of Black folks, of our communities. Over 500 progressive organizations put forth the People's Bailout, demanded a COVID-19 relief and stimulus package that contribute to just recovery. And we are excited to see how youth organizers are moving, shifting, adjusting, and advancing their organizing under the conditions of a COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. Young people are doing video podcasts, virtual youth and student assemblies, doing virtual exchanges across cities, holding rallies and press conferences, watch parties and hangouts, and are having so much joy in the middle of all of this. And we love to see that, and we love to see it, and wanted to give a major shout out to the Philadelphia Student Union and Bryant Park Neighborhood Council in Chicago, who hosted their virtual youth exchange. It was incredible. So this is so much of the work that's happening. We are getting hit hard, but we are resilient, we are moving, and know that our organizing does not stop. And what this moment does, in fact, is expose this crisis of capitalism, and make it plain for us to see the organizing work that we have to put forth to really come out winning, surviving, and thriving in this time. So that's all the updates we have. I'm gonna put all the links in the chat box of demands, of news articles, and I'll send it off to Hashim to get us started.